Have you ever seen a giant cargo ship slicing through the ocean and wondered, what powers that massive machine? These ships travel thousands of nautical miles, carrying goods across continents, and at the heart of it all lies one of the most powerful engines on the planet. Today, we're going to take you on a journey inside the engine room and explain, in detail, how a ship's engine works, from the basics of marine propulsion to the future of eco-friendly shipping. To appreciate how complex and powerful a ship's engine is, let's compare it with engines we know. A car engine might produce around 150 horsepower. In contrast, a ship engine can generate over 80,000 horsepower. That's more than 500 times the power of your average car. Why so much power? Because ships are massive, some weighing over 200,000 tons, and they move slowly through dense water. They must carry huge amounts of cargo efficiently over long distances. That means the engines used need to be reliable, powerful, and incredibly efficient. Unlike airplanes that require speed or cars that need quick acceleration, ships prioritize steady torque and long-term endurance. Most large ocean-going vessels use low-speed two-stroke marine diesel engines. These engines are not just big, they're colossal. Some are as tall as a 3-story building and weigh more than 2,000 tons. But how do they work? The core principle is simple but powerful. First, air is drawn into the cylinder and compressed. Then, heavy fuel oil is injected into the combustion chamber. Because of the extreme compression, the air gets very hot, and the fuel ignites without a spark. This controlled explosion pushes a giant piston downward. The motion of this piston is transferred through a connecting rod to a crankshaft. The crankshaft then rotates and turns the ship's propeller, propelling the entire vessel forward. What makes a two-stroke engine unique is that it completes a power cycle in just 2 piston strokes, down and up, unlike 4-stroke engines, which need 4. This makes two-stroke engines more powerful and better suited for marine use. Let's now trace the journey of energy from the engine to the propeller. When fuel is injected and ignited, it drives the piston down. The piston's motion pushes a connecting rod, which turns the crankshaft. That crankshaft is connected directly to a long shaft called the propeller shaft. Finally, this shaft spins the massive propeller at the back of the ship, usually at around 80 to 100 rpm. Most cargo ships don't use a gearbox. Instead, the engine is directly coupled to the propeller. This direct drive system is highly efficient at low speeds and perfect for the long, slow journeys that ships make. To understand the engine better, let's look at its main components. First, the cylinder is where air and fuel mix and combust. Inside the cylinder is the piston, which moves up and down due to combustion pressure. Then comes the crosshead, a crucial component that allows the piston to move vertically while the crankshaft rotates horizontally. This setup helps manage the enormous forces at play and reduces side loads on the piston. Next is the connecting rod, which links the piston to the crankshaft, a massive shaft that rotates and delivers power to the propeller. One key feature is the turbocharger, which uses exhaust gases to compress more air into the cylinder, improving efficiency and power. The fuel injector precisely injects fuel at high pressure, ensuring clean combustion. And, of course, the cooling and lubrication systems keep everything running smoothly, preventing overheating and reducing friction. Now, let's talk about fuel, the lifeblood of the ship's engine. Most ships burn heavy fuel oil, also called HFO. It's thick, black, and inexpensive, but it needs to be preheated to over 100 degrees Celsius before use. It also produces pollutants like sulfur oxides. That's why, under new IMO 2020 regulations, ships are switching to low-sulfur fuel oil, marine gas oil, or installing scrubbers to clean the exhaust gases. Some ships now run on liquefied natural gas, LNG, which is much cleaner but requires cryogenic storage. Despite its drawbacks, HFO remains widely used due to its cost-effectiveness, especially for long voyages. Modern ship engines are highly automated. In the engine control room, engineers monitor performance using digital systems that track everything from temperature and pressure to RPM and vibration. Sensors constantly send real-time data to control panels. If anything deviates from the norm, alarms alert the crew. These systems help avoid breakdowns and allow for predictive maintenance. Scheduled maintenance and overhauls are often done during voyages to keep the engine in top shape, because when you are in the middle of the ocean, there's no calling a tow truck. Life in the engine room is intense. It's hot, loud, and full of moving machinery. Engineers work in rotating shifts, 24/7. Temperatures can exceed 45 degrees Celsius, and the noise levels are so high that hearing protection is mandatory. But for marine engineers, this is their domain. From monitoring lube oil levels to adjusting valves, their job is to keep the heart of the ship beating steadily. What about the future? The world is pushing toward greener shipping. We are now seeing hybrid propulsion systems, which combine diesel and electric motors. Short-distance ferries in Scandinavia are going fully electric, and large LNG-powered container ships are already in service. Research is ongoing into hydrogen fuel cells, ammonia-fueled engines, wind-assisted sails, and even nuclear-powered cargo ships. The goal is clear: reduce emissions while maintaining the global trade lifeline that ships provide. So, the next time you see a giant ship sailing calmly across the ocean, remember what's happening beneath the deck: an enormous engine turning explosions into motion, power into propulsion. It's an incredible blend of mechanical engineering, thermodynamics, and raw power. If you found this video helpful or fascinating, hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives like this, and let us know in the comments what other topics you'd like us to explore. Thanks for watching, and smooth sailing.